Hey guys, it's Caleb here. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit today, and I thought we'd go in a different direction than I normally go. I haven't gone. I kind of got something a little bit different that I have been wanting, so I decided I'd go ahead and pull the trigger on it. And while I'm sitting here with a lot of time on my hands doing some training for work, I figured I'd go ahead and throw a review up. Ultimately, I'm gonna end up sending the product back because it's not what I wanted. It's nothing against the product, nothing against the company. It's just I ordered it before I fully knew basically what I was ordering. So it's not going to work for what I wanted it for. So I will be sending it back because I found something to replace it. That will be a different review for a different day. So to start off, it's a knife, not a gun. So I'm a big fan of Cold Steel. I know they're not made in America, but they are sturdy. They've held up fairly well for me. I've owned several of them over the last couple of years. I use them pretty aggressively, and they've held up, so I like the company. The styles are kind of all over the place. There's a little bit different stuff, a little bit something for everybody. So I kind of dig them. The prices are fairly decent. So one of the ones that I've been eyeballing since their 2020 release is a knife called the Facon. We're going to start over with that. Cold Steel Facon. It's an Argentinian kind of gaucho, kind of a cowboy knife. I seen the word cowboy and I ordered it. I figured it'd be a good fit for my gun belt. I was wrong. So we'll go. I have actually already unboxed this once just to clean it up and stuff because it was covered in enough oil for 3 or 4 knives, much less one. So I have opened it before, but this is the box it comes in. Pretty nondescript looking black cardboard box. It says Cold Steel with what I'm assuming is the item number. I don't really know. So you open the box. The knife does come separated. It comes separate from the sheath. The knife came wrapped in plastic. So here is the knife. See, it's fairly good size, fairly substantial. It's 15 inches overall. I think it's got about a 11 or 10 inch blade. It's a pretty good sized knife. Nothing really wrong with that. I bought it as a belt carry knife because I've been getting into cowboy action, so I wanted something to ride on my gun belt, just for the looks. Also, that same gun belt does happen to be the one that holds my revolver when I go hunting, so I thought a big nice knife would be nice to have when I'm traipsing around through the prairies and stuff chasing deer. So I found this knife. It is a gorgeous knife. It's 1090 steel, so it's fairly hard but still workable so you can keep it sharp. It didn't come as sharp as some of the other stuff I've gotten before or as like it, so it will need a couple passes for that if I was going to keep it. Like I said, I'm not. And then closer in you can see it does have jimping on the spine. It's very well done. It's a nice knife. It's got nickeled steel bolsters and it's got a Malaysian, it's called salwood handle. And the handle fitment's really nice, the bolsters are really nice, the colors are magnificent. The texture of the handle is like a milled wood. It's very sturdy, there's no play or wiggle in it. Overall, it's a nice knife. Perfect for a lot of different things, but not perfect for everything I want. So, set that down. Moving on, it comes with a sheath. And from the little bit of research I did, the sheath is pretty authentic to what they would have. It's black leather. It's got a steel cap on the end of it. It has that flap, which would slide. You'd put it through your belt and just kind of hold it, or a sash. It's what they traditionally did in their fashion. And then it comes with the little arch-shaped guard to keep you from stabbing yourself when you're putting it up. It is an ambidextrous sheath, so you can put the knife in this way or this way, whichever your carry preference is. Overall, the sheath's pretty well done. I did have an issue. It's a little pin that holds the flap on is not the sturdiest, so it needed a little bit of attention. So I did go ahead and put that back in the way I thought it should be. But overall, it's a nice knife. It is primarily used for just about everything according to the research. So I'd say it would be decent as a field knife. It's probably a little bit longer than I would say, because if you were going to go do something like skinning, you really don't have much belly and you're a long ways from the tip, so you can't really get as precise with it and still deliver the power. That's one of the reasons why I'm not going to keep it. I will be sending it back. Another reason is the balance. I'm not a fan of. It's a very blade forward, blade heavy type knife, which overall as field work kind of gets kind of exhausting, because the balance point is, I mean, I'm off the blade, and the balance point is well within the first couple inches of the blade, which to me is too front heavy. There's not enough weight in the handle. And the handle is the third reason I will be taking it back, because I wear a size XL glove, so I got a pretty good sized hand. And when I wrap my hands around this, it doesn't feel like it's much. It's like holding a real thin broomstick. And after a while, if you hold on to those and start using it for stuff, it makes my hand cramp up. So it's not comfortable for me. I just don't prefer it. The knife makes a great decorative piece, and it's very, very well made for the money. I got it for $127 and change off Amazon. The going rate on Midway and Optics Planet is about $140, so I got a little bit off of it. Good knife. If it fits your cultural heritage, it'd be a perfect conversation piece. It actually would be a somewhat decent as like a, a carving knife for Thanksgiving if you were into that. I thought about keeping it for that, but ultimately I'm going to send it back because I'm probably never going to use it for that. Great knife, feels good, looks good. It's more of a fighting type knife. I want something more of a field utility type knife. So it's something I would recommend if you're looking for something that's different. It's kind of the same lines as like the Natchez and the Laredo Bowies. They're big knives, more or less for decoration, possibly fighting. I would hesitate to use it as like a bush type knife. I don't think it's quite built for that kind of rough and tumble stuff. Overall, it's just a gorgeous knife. I love the style, but the usefulness of it doesn't do it as much for me, especially with the lack of any kind of guard, blade guard, finger guard, stuff like that. It's too easy to ride your hand up onto the blade. Not something overall that I think is gonna work with me. The sheath, I love the style of it, but unfortunately it's not that secure with just having a leather flap. It has no way of actually retaining it into the belt other than belt tension itself. So I wear a knife on my gun belt, so my gun belt tends to move around a little bit as I'm getting in or out of the truck, stuff like that. So I don't think it would be very befitting to have a knife that the sheath could just simply fall out, because then I would, one, get tangled up, or two, possibly lose my knife and not even know it. So definitely worth looking into if you add it to a collection. In terms of a field knife, I wouldn't advise it for that. There are better options out there. There's a lot of other cold steel options I'd like to explore. So I just thought I'd throw a quick review on here. I haven't seen a lot of reviews on these knives. They're fairly new, so this might even be the first one up. If so, I hope it helps you guys. I hope it provides a little bit of information and some thoughts on it. Thank you.